I want to tell you about a moment I wasn't expecting. I walked into my kids' room after they left, and the bed was made. Actually made. For the first time in what felt like years, the floor was visible. There was no pile of gear, no half-finished snack, no evidence of the tornado that had apparently been living there since middle school. And I just stood there, and I felt lighter. And then, about 3 seconds later, I felt absolutely terrible about feeling lighter. Sound familiar? We talk about grief and the empty nest, the quiet, the weird portion sizes, not knowing what to do with yourself on a Tuesday afternoon. And it's all real. I'm not dismissing any of it. But the relief, we barely whisper about that. And when we feel it, we treat it like evidence that we were doing something wrong. One thing I know from years of sitting with women through big transitions, from living through my own, is that the relief and grief are not opposites. They are roommates. They show up together, and you're allowed to feel both at the same time if necessary. If you felt lighter when they left, here's what that means. You were paying attention. You were present. You cared enough to be running on some form of high alert for the better part of 2 decades. More if you've had multiples. Think about what that actually looked like. The appointments you tracked in your head. The moods you read before they even walked in the door. The constant background hum of making sure another human being was okay. When that stops, or even just pauses, of course your nervous system exhales. That's not a sign you didn't love them enough. That's a sign of how hard you worked. Relief is not the opposite of love. Relief is what exhaustion feels like when it finally gets a moment to breathe. Now the guilt. Let's talk about that. I think the guilt about the relief is mostly about a story we've absorbed, a story we've been told time and time again, that good mothers grieve purely and completely, that ambivalence means something was missing, that if you feel anything other than sadness when they leave, you weren't fully in it, and that is bullcrap. That story is not true, and it is not fair. The thing I have noticed, the guilt is sometimes not really about the relief at all. It's grief in disguise. It's fear wearing guilt's coat. Because here's what's on the other side of that lighter feeling. A big open question. Who am I now? What does my life look like when I'm not in constant motion around somebody else's needs? That question is the real invitation of the empty nest. And it's a little terrifying. And it's also, when you're ready, kind of extraordinary. So here's where I want to land with you today. You can miss them deeply and also sleep better than you have in years. You can be proud of what you built and also not know what to do with yourself on a Saturday. You can feel the grief and feel the relief and not have to pick which one is the real one. The empty nest is not a problem to solve. It's a transition to walk through. And transitions are messy, not unlike that room. They don't come with clean feelings. If you're in the middle of this right now, or preparing to face it in a few short weeks, whether you're grieving, relieved, guilty about the relief, or all three at once, you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it human. If this landed with you, come find us over at the Thrive Hive. The link is in the description. It's our little corner of the internet where nobody expects you to have it figured out, and everybody gets it when you say it's complicated. I'll see you there, and take good care of yourself.